Welcome. We're going to talk about John Boyne, the Boyne Street Pyjamas, and Edgar Allan Poe's The Black Cat. And we are Agustin.
I am Luz.
I am Cielo.
And I am Guadalupe.
And we hope you enjoy it. I'm going to talk about the plot of The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, a story set during the Second World War in the 1940s. Our main protagonist is Bruno, a 9-year-old boy who lives in Berlin with his father, his mother and his sister. One day, Bruno comes home from school and finds out he has to move to Auschwitz, or as he calls it, Auschwitz. This obviously isn't a right decision in his mind, but he has to do it anyway. In Auschwitz, in his new house, he doesn't like the new life. He's bored most of the time, and yeah, he's sad. So one day he decides to go and search for a fence that he was able to look from the window in his bedroom. And the other side of the fence there were a lot of people with striped pajamas, as he calls it. And during this exploration he meets a boy named Shmuel, who has a striped pajama like everyone else, a shaved head, and a band on his arm with David's star. He befriends this boy and they grew very close. Well, a year passed by and Bruno's mother decides to move back to Berlin with his sister, and Bruno decides to stay because of Shmuel. One day he goes to visit Shmuel and finds out that Shmuel's father went missing. So he helps him look for his father. He goes into the other side of the fence and changes his clothes into a striped pajamas and begin looking for him. But they are stopped by the troops and they are forced to go into the gas chambers where both of them meet their end. Well, after a year, Bruno's father finds his clothes and finds out of his destiny, his horrible destiny, and this is how our story ends.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the main character of The Boy in Striped Pyjamas, Bruno. Bruno is a 9-year-old boy who lived in Berlin his entire life until he had to move to Poland, where his father had to work. He was a Nazi commandant and he has his mother and his sister that he called the hopeless case Gretel. He was a very innocent person. You can see this throughout the whole story. He really had no idea what's going on around. The person who knows what's going on around is his sister, that is Gretel, and she tries to explain almost everything she knows to her little brother. And well, then he met this guy who was born the same day as him and has his same age, Samuel, and you can see the contrast between these two classes because Bruno comes from, let's say, I'm not sure if a high society, but he does, while Samuel had to live with 11 people in a very tiny apartment, and you can see throughout the book that Bruno doesn't understand much why this happens and why they are so different, being between them so related. And then his sister explained to him that they are Jewish. The people from the other side of the fence, they are Jewish, and they are not supposed to get along with them. He still doesn't understand this because he says that they are the same people. So this innocence is what gonna drive him to this tragical end, because he wants to help his friend to find his father, but by the end of the day they ended up dying because of this innocence, because he had no idea what was going on the other side of the fence. And I think Shamil did, but he didn't thought that was gonna happen to them.
Hello, I'm going to talk about The Black Cat from Edgar Allan Poe's. The story begins with our protagonist being in jail, about to be executed. So he decides to tell his story and how he got into that situation. At the beginning, he lived with his wife and their pets. He was an animal person. They had a dog, a parrot, a rabbit, a small monkey, and a cat that they have named Pluto. They were very happy, but he suffered from alcoholism. With the passage of the days, he became tempered, moody, and he started to lash out into his wife and their pets, but not with his cat. He contained with him. So this problem got higher and higher, and he one day felt like the cat was avoiding him, so he took an eye out of the cat. After that, the situation got worse. One day he hanged the cat. He killed him. He hanged him in the garden, and in that night their house burned out, and they had to move away to a smaller house, and the life they had got darker and sadder, and I don't know.
Smaller.
Huh?
Smaller. Their life. Okay.
Their life got smaller.
Dreaded.
It was a dreadful life. They lived in a smaller house, and he got drunk all nights, and within that he started to feel nostalgic of the life they had and the pets they had and the cat. So he tried to find one, and he found one, and the cat followed him to his house and started to live with them. And at the beginning he was happy, and then it was like a reminder of the things he had done, so he tried to kill him. And in that moment of rage, his wife stepped in the middle and he killed her with an axe. He buried her in a wall, and the days after, the police started to look for her, and they came to the house a few times, and in the last time he hit the wall with a cane to show that the house was well built. With that hit, they heard a cry within the wall, so they broke the wall and they found his wife and the cat. He had buried the cat with her. So this led us to the beginning of the story with him being in death row. That's how he got there, and that's the end of the story.
Well, I'm going to talk about the setting of The Black Cat. The first thing that I think it's important to mention is that the author of this story doesn't provide many details of the houses where this story happened, because the emphasis is in what happened and not where it happened. The first house we can deduce that is a big house, because we know that they had a great variety of animals, and they must have had a lot of space to have them all without problems. In this house, the bedroom wall is the most important because it's the only one that wasn't burned up, and where the gigantic black cat appears, causing our main character terror. After this house burns down, they move to a second house that is old and not the type of house that they were used to live. The most important room in this house is the cellar or the basement, where our main character kills his wife and wall the body up in a false chimney that resembles the rest of the cellar, and he tried to hide from the police officers who were trying to find something suspicious, and it's there where the police officers heard the cries of the cat and find the body in the wall.
Okay, so that was our booktube, and we hope you enjoyed it. Bye. You enjoyed it.
Get started. Es nuestro tema.
Hello, I'm going to talk about the black cat from Edgar Allan Poe's One Eye of the Cat. Pluto is here! Aunque ya está grabando hace rato, ¿no?
You enjoyed it. Bye.
We have Pluto here.
And we have the cat in the strip.
I said bye.
You
don't
know,
care.
right? Say bye to el profesor. Bye, el profesor. Bye.
Bye, professor. I hope you enjoy it.
How do you stop this?